Now, let's talk about lambda and sorting. So, earlier we have discussed how the sorting method works. We have seen that sorting method can be used to sort the iterable object, right? Let's start with a very simple example. Here we have this L, which is a list, and it takes A, B, and C. So it has this four element A, B, C, and D, where A and C are the lower cases, B and C are the upper cases. Let's create this. And if I use sorted of L, so sorted is a function, so we are passing this L as an argument over here into the sorted function. And when I do this, what happens here? So here it has sorted this list, but look, the sorting has been done based on the cases of the value. So first it has sorted the upper cases, and then it has sorted the lower cases. So what is happening over here? Here we know that so upper cases has a smaller value, like so upper cases is something that comes first, right, compared to the lower cases, right? So here, because of this ASCII value of the upper cases and lower cases, right, so this has been sorted over here, right? Now, so what if we want to sort this element based on the case sensitive, right? So like we do not want to use any case sensitive over here, but still we want to sort based on alphabetical order. So what we can do is, so here we know that this sorted function has keyword argument, right, which modify the value of each element in the any sequence data. Here the sequence data is list, so it will modify the each element of this list. So here if I use this sorted L, and then in the key we are passing str.upper. So what this will do is this will take each element of the list, right, and apply this upper function on that element and then do the sorting. So when I run this, so it is doing A, B, and C and D. Why? Because first it has taken this A element and then it had converted to a upper cases, and then based on the upper cases it has done the sorting. So it is not modifying the actual value of the list, but after the modification it has done the process, it has done the sorting, and then it has sorted the original element as well. Of course you can also use the lambda function over here, but still we have the ready-made function, so we do not need to use lambda function. We do not need to create lambda function over here, but still we can do that. Here in the keyword argument we are getting this lambda s, so s is the argument, and then we are saying s dot upper. So here we are using upper function, right? So we'll get the same output over here. Now let's look at how this work in a dictionary. Here we have this dictionary. Now we know that dictionary has a key and the value, and then we also know that when you iterate the dictionary value, by default it iterates the keys of the dictionary. So when we apply the sorting, right, here it has done the sorting of the keys only. That means when you take the loop or when you iterate this dictionary, you will only get the key value of the dictionary, right? So it has accessed the key value and then it has sorted those key value, right? But again, what happens if we want to sort this element based on this value? So what we want to do is we want to sort this element based on these value, right? So first these will become like this entire value will come, second these value will come, and third these value will come, right? But again, when you do the sorting, what you are getting only the keys. So after the sorting based on the value, you will only get the key. So you will get this key over here first, then again this is the second, and this we should get as the third. So how we can do that? We can use this lambda function over here. Here we are passing dictionary, then we are saying key equal to lambda k. So this k is the key, and then we are passing key in the dictionary. So here we are passing key in the dictionary, right? So we are accessing each key over here, right? So when I write this, here we can see that it has sorted based on the values, right? Because here we are accessing the value with this keyword, right? And then we are getting the output. So this is how we can do the sorting. We can also sort the complex numbers. So here we have the function of complex numbers, to calculate the distance. So it takes the real value and the imaginary value, and then it create the and then it calculate the distance. It will return you the distance value. So here is a list of the complex number. But let's what happens when we apply the sorting. So again, when we apply the sorting, we know that it will check that whether this value is greater than this, and we also know that in complex number comparison is not valid, so we'll get error, right? So instead we can use a distance function. So distance function, so this time it will not compare these value directly. When like over here, when I'm using this sorted function, then we are passing the list of complex number, and in the key we are passing this dist function that we have created over here, right? Now we know that when you are using dist function, right, so it will first calculate the distance of each element, and then based on that it will give you the sorting of the element, right? We can also create a lambda function over here for the same function, so we can also use the lambda function over here. Now again, now let's take this example. Here we have this cheese, idli, paline, champan. So we have this lots of food, or like lots of text, right? So now we want to sort. If you apply the sorting, by default it will be first will be C, then will be G, so it will be based on the alphabetical order. But let's say that if you want to sort these elements based on the last character of the string, so what you will do is you will use the lambda function. Here in the key we are passing lambda s, and then we are passing s in the bracket, so we are accessing the last element, and that's it. So here in the key you just have to pass the last element. So or like you just have to write a function to access the last element, and that's it. It will be sorted based on the last element of the values, right? So this is it. This is all about lambda and the sorting. Thank you very much.